we want to bring in another earnings picture. It also starts with an A. That would be Amgen, though. We're switching to healthcare now. Its earnings out quarterly report card, beating estimates on revenue and earnings per share. Yahoo Finance's Anjalee Khemlani has been speaking with the company's top C-suite, and she has the details.
That's right. Amgen with a strong quarter again. Some interesting things to pull out, but just let's look at the top line numbers first. Of course, like you said, beating estimates, especially on revenue and adjusted earnings per share, coming in a little bit over at 8% up on that earnings per share, like you can see on your screen, as well as on the revenue side, beating out close to $7 billion. So that's where things are right now for the top line. Now, two major drugs that are in focus here for the company. One is Amjevita, that's the Humira or AbbVie's Humira biosimilar. They did report an increase in sales of about 29%, but still a little bit slower than expected. So they missed on that one. And then LUMAKRAS, another drug that they have, did say that sales were flat essentially for that one, but they are expecting sort of more to come down the pike with more indications, currently working on other uses for the drug. So that's sort of where things look for them. Meanwhile, I did also ask CFO Peter Griffith about one of the topics that I think has been really interesting for pharma this season, especially, and that's China, just the strength of the Asia Pacific market. And he did say that it came in for about 46% of revenue. And they did note that ex-US sales were quite strong this quarter. So that's an interesting sort of story that I've been seeing throughout the season. Meanwhile, I also discussed the impact of the Inflation Reduction Act and Medicare drug pricing, which is really on the horizon for a lot of companies. And he had a really interesting comment about that. Peter Griffith told me, quote, "Well, we're well positioned to manage through a declining price environment. We're evaluating our portfolio given the impact of this legislation, and we'll make appropriate resource allocation decisions, but nothing abrupt." So that's really interesting because it kind of falls in line with this, talking point that the industry has had, that it is going to impact innovation and how companies, even ones and especially ones as large as Amgen, will be operating. So should be interesting to see how that impacts in the second half of the year.
Interesting indeed. Anjalee Khemlani, thank you so much.